Okay, today we're going to look at an Okamoto. This is a DX model. This is an 8 by 20, 8 inch by 20 inch chuck. It's wired for 440, 480 volts. This is a 3-axis automatic. It has a NOMINAL digital readout on the cross slide. And basically, the machine is hydraulic, but if you wanted to work with it by hand, you could work the table by hydraulic or by hand and then work your cross feed by hand. Your down feed is with this manual pulse generator here. This is your screen. You can set that to 0 and then you come down with that. You have 3 different graduations. It's at the lowest, one click on here is 10 millionths, and then you've got 5/10ths and then 1/10. You also have a rapid where you can speed the wheel up and down. Okay, over here you have a green light to tell you that the chuck is on, and the chuck is variable, so you can adjust the power of that. And then you've got a selector switch here to start your table moving, as long as you have the hydraulic control on for the table. All right, so over here you have a stop button, which will stop this table, and then you have a start, which will start it. So you can stop it. You can also stop it with the hydraulic lever there, but most people would just use it from here. So we have this going. You also have a cross feed. You want to make sure this is pulled out, and then you see the cross feed start to move. Over here on the side we have some little switches. Once the trip dogs here make that switch, the saddle will reverse. I'm going to try to shorten this up a little bit. It kind of goes by this pointer there. This would be a clamp to lock the saddle if you were doing plunge grinding and absolutely didn't want the table to move at all, accidentally or whatever. All right, so you see as that saddle moves in and out, our readout is going in and out, traveling, stepping each time the table goes left and right, the saddle moves back until it makes the switch, then it comes in the other direction. That's surface grinding. And it'll only move like that if you have the machine selecting surface grinding. The next mode is just regular surface or slot grinding or plunge grinding. In this case, only the table goes back and forth and the saddle stops moving. When the table is moving, the amount that this moves is adjusted down here with this hydraulic spool valve. The more you turn this in or out, the less or more travel you get here. Over here is your cross feed control. You can shut it off by putting it in the center, or start it here, or flip it the other way for continuous in and out. It'll just go in and out without stopping. All right, so over here you've got a couple of options to select your little grinding cycle. So what they want to know is a coarse feed. For demos, I just like to make my coarse feed 1/1000ths, and then they want a fine feed, and I usually make that 1/10th. And then they want to know when do I want to switch from the coarse to the fine. I usually make that 1/10th. We can make it 5/10ths. 5/10ths from final size, or 5/10ths from 0. So you set that, and you go in your edit mode here and you put in a value. Say I want to grind 10/1000ths off the part, so I just put in 10, but you could put in any value here that you actually measured. In this case, I'm just going to put in a 10th. So we're in the plunge grinding mode. It's just going to feed each time it goes back and forth. The other mode is to feed only on one side. Go back, then feed on the other side, go back, then feed on the other side, so you're not building up as much pressure grinding certain materials. So now in order to start the cycle, you have to just flip this switch over to the automatic, and you see here that we feed down from 10/1000ths, 1/1000ths at a time until we get to 1/1000. So we're going to switch over and feed at 5/10ths. Down to 0, we do some spark out passes, and then the machine comes to a park. we want to do a surface grind, we have to select surface grinding mode, put the same little go back to edit, put a value in there, say 4 thousandths, and start this cycle by putting it into the automatic program. So the first time the saddle reverses, we drop down from 4 thousandths to 3 thousandths, and then to 2. Of course, you wouldn't grind this heavy, but this is just for video purposes. Then we go to 1 thousandths, and now we're going to start feeding with the 5/10 increment. Which will be 2 because there was 1 thousandths left on the part. Now we're at 0. It's just going to do a couple of empty passes and then going to park. Well, that's it. That's the Okamoto DX series. This is an 8x20. This is the 820 DX Okamoto 3-axis. Thank you very much.